ਹੈਡਲਾਈਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਖਾਸ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਐਪੀਸੋਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ontario ਦੇ ਐਗਰੀਕਲਚਰ ਸੈਕਟਰ ਦੀ। Canada is one of the largest agricultural producers and exporters in the world, and Ontario's agriculture sector is a major economic engine. इस संबंधी ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਨੇ Ontario ਦੇ Minister of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, Jeff Lale. Hello, Minister Lale. Welcome to PDC.
Great to be with you again.
Same here. As I already mentioned in my introduction, that Ontario's agriculture is a major economic engine, and more than 80,000 Ontarians make their living directly on farms. What particular ways Ontario government is looking for to encourage the growth of food industries?
Well, first of all, the agricultural sector of the province of Ontario represents in excess of $36 billion to Ontario's GDP, and you're quite right, about 800,000 Ontarians are employed in this sector. But it really starts right from the foundation, those 52,000 family farms that we have in the province of Ontario. They're so innovative and so productive. When you look at it, 1.4% of the population in Ontario is supporting 98.6% of our population. So the quality product that they're producing each and every day that is on all our tables gives Ontario in Canada a great reputation on an international basis in terms of product quality and food safety. It is a premium that allows us to open a lot of doors on an international basis. When you look at, for example, Vineland Research Station in the Niagara Peninsula, looking at application of robotic systems to farming in the province of Ontario. We look at precision agriculture. All those things are making the agriculture sector one of the most dynamic parts of Ontario's economy and Canada's economy today. And for young people that are listening to our interview today, if you're looking at career opportunities, agriculture is going to be the place to be in the 21st century. Because the two big public policy questions will be food security and water quality, and Ontario is going to be in a great position in both of those categories.
Minister Lale, last year there was an issue for making artisanal cheese in Ontario, and I think the small producers were not happy with the provincial rules. Can you tell us in detail what the concern was, and if you have reviewed or discussed those issues with the ministry yet?
Well, you're right. This was an issue that was brought to my attention just before the Christmas break. There was an artisanal cheese producer in Northern Ontario. I had the opportunity to meet with the local member, the local MPP for Timmins, Gilles Bisson, and the owner of that artisanal cheese business. He certainly indicated to me very clearly what the challenges were. We've taken that back to our ministry to take a look at, and we're committed to do everything we can to make sure that there's growth in every sector of Ontario's agricultural economy. The Premier has given the sector a challenge of creating 120,000 new jobs by the year 2020. We're well on our way, 42,000 new jobs in 2016. But every job we could create, whether it's in Gailey at a milk processing operation, or the smaller artisanal cheesemaker who may be adding one or two jobs, it's all very important, and we got to make sure we have a positive framework in place to drive that kind of activity.
You had a meeting with dairy farmers as well as they're in Toronto. How did that go?
It went very well. We're seeing unprecedented growth in the dairy sector in the province of Ontario. Ontario milk is recognized as a superior product. And what we're seeing is through the supply managed system, there's being more quota allocated in the province of Ontario, which has provided growth at the farm gate level. And more, we're seeing robots introduced in dairy farming in the province of Ontario. People are building new barns. In fact, activity is so brisk right now in Ontario's agriculture sector, it's tough to find a construction company to build you a new barn. So that's a good thing, a very good thing.
Exactly, and I think agriculture sector is the sector which provides most of the jobs in our province, and it generates a good amount of GDP.
Well, it sure does, in excess of 36 billion. But more importantly, it's every aspect of the supply chain. As I indicated, you start with those 52,000 family farms, and then at the end you have a company like Dr. Oker's Pizza in London, Ontario, providing a superior product for both the Ontario market, the Canadian market, and more importantly, that value-added international markets.
What steps Ontario government is taking to strengthen the Ontario's agri trade relationship with other countries?
Well, it's going to be very, very important. We do know that south of the border, a new administration will be coming in on January 20th. The president-elect has indicated, certainly during the campaign, he really kind of targeted Mexico under NAFTA. Canada trades $30 billion in agricultural products to the United States and Mexico under NAFTA, and Ontario is a full 1/3 of that trade, $10 billion. So we'll have a real interest in his initiative in terms of what he might want to do with the NAFTA trade deal. But more importantly, as we see these things developing in the United States, more and more, it's incumbent upon us here in Ontario and Canada to continue to reach out in potential new markets around the world. Canada has a comprehensive free trade deal with the European Union, and there may be a great opportunity for both India and China to develop new markets on a value-added basis.
We will definitely talk about the Ontario and India relationship, but right after a short break.
Perfect.
ਹੈਡਲਾਈਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਸਮਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਦਾ। ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਲਦ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਬ੍ਰੇਕ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਐਗਰੀਕਲਚਰ, ਫੂਡ ਐਂਡ ਰੂਰਲ ਅਫੇਅਰਸ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਜੈਫ ਲੀਅਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। Recently, Minister, you travelled to India. Can you tell us what was the purpose of your visit?
Well, India, with a population of approximately $1.2 billion, is in Southeast Asia, is one of the great growing economies. And Ontario and Canada, we need to be part of that growth. And one of the ways that we can be a part of that growth is develop ongoing relationships with businesses and government officials in India. We've always had a very good relationship with India. 700,000 Indo-Canadians call Ontario home, and that's a good way for us to build a long-standing relationship, a relationship that should be productive for both of us, both for India and both for the province of Ontario and indeed the country of Canada. Visited Delhi, Mumbai, and Chandigarh in the Punjab province. It was a remarkable experience for me. First time I've ever been to India, and it's just, in many ways, it's just so overwhelming to visit the country of India. A great experience, is something I'll never forget. And more importantly, of course, I got the opportunity to visit the Gandhi Memorial and to pay my the personal respects to a man that had so much to do with the fostering of international and world relations in the 20th century.
I'm glad that you like your India visit, but as you mentioned, Chandigarh, Punjab. Punjab is a main agricultural land in India. Were there any MOUs signed between Ontario and
Yeah, we developed a relationships. The University of Guelph, was traveling with us. And one of the things that's going to be important in India and the Punjab province is technology. Right now, about 40% of the agricultural crop in India is wasted due to spoilage. And Ontario has great technology in terms of storage, refrigeration, and we can share that technology with India. The University of Guelph, of course, is recognized as one of the top 10 agriculture universities in the world. And it's a good opportunity for India to take advantage of that technology and expertise to really strengthen their agricultural sector. And when I was in Chandigarh, of course, there was a large agricultural exhibition going on while I was there. And this was the first time that Ontario had a pavilion at that agriculture exhibition as part of the broader Canadian presence at that exhibition.
Apart from the agriculture sector, what were the other MOUs signed between Ontario and India?
Well, ours was, of course, primarily an agricultural trade mission focused on agriculture. We had 19 businesses traveling with us. I know on an individual basis, they've entered into some agreements to provide either product or expertise. And from that perspective, it was a very, very productive trade mission. We do know, as I said, Prime Minister Trudeau, I think, is scheduled to visit Prime Minister Modi in the not-too-distant future. Again, a way to continue to build the warm, historic relationship that Canada has always enjoyed with India.
India, I think, is one of the fastest growing economy in the world and is an important trade partner for Ontario as well.
Well, it's a critical partner for Ontario. One of the ways that we can continue to strengthen the economy of Ontario is look at export opportunities, those value-added jobs. But I recognize it's certainly a very important two-way street. But India for Ontario has unlimited potential. And of course, we have so many what I call ambassadors right here in Ontario helping us to open doors in the marvelous country of India.
What are the other opportunities that the provincial government is looking forward to increase the export between Ontario and India?
Well, one of the ways India has a lot of fast-growing cities, and one of the ways that Ontario can work with those communities in India is from a municipal infrastructure point of view. Things like water, wastewater treatment plants, just to name one area where we've developed a great deal of expertise here in Ontario, and want to can share that with India, because as citizens of the world, we're very cognizant of the fact that by 2050 there will be 9 billion people in the world to feed, and food security, fresh water are very important aspects of the public policy debate in the 21st century. And Ontario and Canada has technology and wherewithal to share that with other countries in the world. And I can't think of a better partner than the great nation of India.
Of course, and Minister Leela, I think a trade mission is a very good initiative to increase or to strengthen and build the relationship between two countries. What more Canadians and Indians can expect from Ontario government?
Well, it's all about personal relationships, and the opportunity to be on the ground in India, and the great work that's being done by our High Commissioner in Delhi, Mr. Patel. What a marvelful experience for me to attend a large social event at the High Commission, bringing together all the government and business leaders from Delhi all in one place. And I want to thank the High Commission staff and the Consul General's office in the three communities that we visit to giving us a very warm welcome. And always to remind ourselves that these individuals, these men and women, these professional civil servants are the face of Canada in these nations. And I do know that they're doing a superb job in India.
We would definitely like to know that when are you visiting next, and what will be the purpose of your next visit?
Well, I'd like to go back to India again and look at ways that I can build upon the relationships that we just made in November, when we're over there from November 13th to the 20th.
Minister, talking about the upcoming 2018 elections, what do you think why Ontarians should consider the Ontario Liberals again? Do you want to give any message to our viewers?
Well, we've been very aggressive in our government agenda to building Ontario up by investing in infrastructure. We do know that by investing in modern infrastructure provides the basis for a dynamic private sector economy, which grows the jobs, grows the economy. And one of the other ways that we could do that is our investment in education, whether it's elementary education or secondary education or colleges and universities. Because one of the ways that we drive the economy is having one of the best educated workforces in the world. We're doing that right in Ontario. And the changes we're making to tuition for those families that earn an income of $50,000 or less, virtually there'll be free tuition because we want to make sure that every young person in Ontario that has the ability and wants to get a post-secondary education, the doors will be open to make that happen.
Thank you so much for joining us. It was really a pleasure to interview you.
It's always great to be with you. Thanks so very much, and I look forward to the next time that we can have a chat about Ontario and Indian relations.
Definitely. Thank you so much. ਹੈਡਲਾਈਨ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਸੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਖਾਸ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਸ਼ ਜਿਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਅਤੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਐਗਰੀ ਫੂਡ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਦੇਣ ਦੀ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਖਾਸ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਸ਼ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਈ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ। ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਮੁੜ ਤੋਂ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਨਵੇਂ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਉਦੋਂ ਤੱਕ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦਿਓ ਇਜਾਜ਼ਤ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।